I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I really have to consider that. So, as usual, I get on social media, and I was, browsing, not looking for anything in particular, in between looking at sports scores. And I saw another article that was about injustice in the criminal system. There's inequity as far as who gets charged for what by race. And I thought about that because I know several people that have gone to prison, and some of them have gone to prison for a considerable amount of time, and they have been African American. And I do recall seeing similar crimes committed by other people of a different race, in this case being white. Now, strike me for being silly, but I think we might have our priorities mixed up. Let's suppose that the criminal justice system is unjust. What logical sense would it make for us to ask for justice in a system that's corrupt? How stupid is that? I mean, if a black guy knows that he's going to get 50 years to a white guy's 20 years, then I have to ask a question. Would it have not been better to seek a preventative measure of living? And what I mean by that is, if you don't do the crime, you don't do the time. And I know, it could really be said that, well, what about justice? Well, until we have justice, or until there is a situation that is just all the way around, you have to protect yourself. And the best way to protect yourself from being incarcerated for a period of time that's not fair is to not get incarcerated. I think people are grossly underestimating preventative living. The chances of me or one of my family members going to jail is slim and none. Not zero, but slim and none, because of preventative living. You can't be charged and condemned to prison for something that you didn't participate in. I think we spend too much time comparing the fate of those who commit certain atrocities in society. There are people that go to prison that shouldn't be in prison, and that's not even what's in dispute here. What's in dispute here is the defense of criminals. When you go to jail, all bets are off. All bets are off for fairness. All bets are off for you to maintain, if you're a man and going to jail, to maintain your anal virginity. All bets are officially off. If we'd spend more time talking about prevention and what the individual can do, since the system is more than likely going to fail that person if they find themselves in that compromised position, I think we'd have a different result. Quit looking for someone else to do right by you. Quit looking for justice in unjust situations. It doesn't matter to me whether the black guy gets 20 years, 30 years, or 40 years if he's guilty. I don't care. I don't care if the white guy gets 20 years, 15 years, a less sentence, more of a sentence, if he's guilty. I don't care. What I care about is not creating a society of people who go to jail, who commit crime, who terrorize our society. That's what I care about. And I hate to sound, like a staunch old timer, but there are some things that are getting absolutely, just completely out of hand. When do we start looking at the prevention of crime rather than the protection of criminals? I think it's a fair question to ask. I see all these, and the ACLU handles cases that really deserve attention. But there are some cases where it's like, look, the guy was, he shot 5 people, he shot 3 people in his neighborhood, and he went to jail for, X amount of years. Our first instinct is, well, the black guy got 50 years. The white guy got 10 years. It's not fair. We need to protest. We need to march. What's wrong with that picture? Criminality is not the best way to go. For a person to go and really expect for anything fair to happen. You're now a prisoner, and when you're a prisoner, anything can happen to you. You're in the system, anything can happen to you. And if the system is unjust, quit asking for justice. Focus on what you can do to avoid the injustice that the system brings with it. It's the only thing that you have control over. You have control over nothing else. Take charge of yourself. And you won't have to rely on others to do the right thing by you.